back here. Oh, 225. Dwarves, gnomes, dwarves, gnomes, kobolds, halflings, and goblins. I can say that in the right order. I don't know, J-Dog. I've slept since then. I don't know what I said. I don't know what I said. Okay. There we get these. We got nobody here. Shandy for speed. Human for speed. Nobody, no. Ooh. Okay. Aliwick for some gold fine. Maybe. If she pulls the right cards. Dark Urge can go everywhere, that's true. And then there we go. Alright. Now the problem here is he needs some people near him to go fast. There. They want like this. They want some click damage. Am I quiet? I mean, I might be a little quiet because I don't know. I'm not talking super loud. I'm not talking super energetically at the moment. I don't know. I don't know. I haven't eaten all my corn dogs yet. I don't have any energy yet. I haven't had a root beer. I mean, come on. All right. There we go. All right, so we have to go 225 areas. Yeah, let's throw 15 minutes of speed at it. I don't know what's going on lately, but my corn dogs end up like this. Like they blow up. I don't know why. I didn't change anything about how I cook them. I'm really confused. I don't have a toaster oven. I do have an air fryer. I might try an air fryer. I almost want to get a toaster oven though, but I'm not sure where it would go. It would need to be somewhere and out like all the time. And we just don't have the counter space for that. Because I don't want to have to drag it out to use it, which is what I have to do. What I have to do with the air frying. Because I would totally use that to like reheat pizza because it would get it nice and toasty, like the bottom, it would crisp the bottom. I would totally do that. Exactly, Sergeant. We're on the same page. Because I don't like putting in the microwave. It just makes it warm and soggy. Not pan frying a pizza. Might work. Not interested in trying it. All right. Here's what we need. We need Electrum codes. Is mine the only one? Oh god. No, then there's maybe a Miller's Music Monday. That's it. Slow streaming week, folks. Apparently. I almost opened those. I totally almost clicked on that. I got into the habit of just opening them right away, but we're full blues now because we opened some patron chests yesterday. Just enough to get us to full blues. And now we're going to hold those Electrums until the next event starts. We're going to get into that whole holding on to Electrums and efficiently gearing up new champions thing. The Empress, I like this. Throws a slice in the cast iron pan to get the crust crisp. I mean, I could see it. Just on its own, just to heat it up. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. Hey, Ricardo Zone. We do have gems, though. We have 2,700 gems. I know I wanted to save up and get 12.5. Where is... Come on. Yeah, just move forward. I want to get 12,500 for Humon's feet. But we're out of speed potions. But we're out of speed potions, mostly. We got one more 15-minute left. But we don't have any larges. Oh, I like... Look, I love cold pizza. But some pizzas are better cold than others. And the ones that aren't as good, I would like to just crisp up again and eat hot. Like the that Wild Mike's pizza. Look, I love it. Straight out of the oven. It is great. It is a great crispy pizza, but the next morning, cold, it is not as great. It's okay. I eat it. I've eaten it on this stream, cold. But it is way better warm and toasty. But it's got to be toasty. If it's just microwaved, it is not. You know. Whereas, like, I mean, I will give it to them. Back in the day when I used to get Pizza Hut, like pan pizzas, man. Those are real good cold. I don't know why, but I really like cold Pizza Hut pan pizzas. Yeah. So I feel like it just depends on the pizza. What is going on? The bags aren't coming out. And when I'm moving forward, when I'm toggling this, I'm not getting a bag. Not getting a bag. Oh my god, we're gonna restart. Or not. The game doesn't want to stop. I hit the X. Okay. There we go. There we go. Farmer's Guide to Cooking Appliances? No. Oh, you've never you've never seen an air fryer or heard of an air fryer or whatever. Basically, think of it like honestly a small superheated convection oven. And I mean, if you have a convection oven, which not everybody has a convection oven. My oven is not a convection oven. If you have a good convection oven, you effectively have an air fryer. But the size of it makes it not as efficient, right? So what you do is you get a small little air fryer. It's basically just superheating the air and then blowing it around whatever you put in, and it effectively fries the food, but it's just frying it with just pure heat. I mean, I guess you could say it is a liquid fryer in a sense because air is a liquid. It's just a gaseous. It's a very diffused liquid if you want to think of it that way. I mean, you could cool it off and it would become a liquid. But you know, But it's not, you're not frying with oil. You're frying with just superheated air. A gas is liquid is at certain times. I don't know, but I'm just having fun with words. But the point is you're wrapping heat equally all the way around what you're cooking, like you are in a fryer, like in a deep fryer. And it works real well. I do mozzarella sticks, chicken wings, chicken strips, French fries, like either frozen or fresh. You just slice up some potatoes and make some French fries. People cook food in it. People will cook a steak in it. I don't know. I mean, look, it's effectively it's just a small superheated convection oven. But most people don't have convection ovens. Most people just have an oven that just gets hot, right? And doesn't have the moving air. So, okay, it looks like it gave us those bags. It just wasn't crediting to us at the time. We'll see if we get it this time. That's a new bug I don't like. Well, it's basically it's like a superheated convection oven. Small, tiny, like it's small. That's the biggest problem, is it's small. So if you're trying to make a lot of something, you can't. Oh, we do onion rings in it? No. Onion rings are good. You wanted one with the air fryer option? I mean, like, yeah, I feel like, man, if I replace my oven, I would need two things. One, it needs to get hot enough to flash cook a pizza. Look, come on. And two, it better be a convection oven. It better be a convection oven so that effectively it's a big air fryer. Like I wouldn't, yeah. I would want they're pricey, but oven fries always need lots of turning. Yes, but here's the thing. So your air fryer comes with this little pedestal, and you can put the fries in and stack them like in different ways. Like that's part of the fun, in my opinion. It's like figuring out the best way to stack things. Like you don't just dump it in. Place them and cross them, and then the air gets below and around and cooks the whole thing, because it's not sitting on something flat. It's got a little grid. Yeah, it's fried chenga. Yeah, but it's not sitting on a flat surface. It's sitting on a wire base so that the air can get everywhere. Yeah, only big things I cook are pizza. I mean, that's the biggest thing I cook. I even finally got a bigger serving plate for it, and I also got one of those wooden handled pizza thingers. I don't know what they're called. That was why it was super hard for me to figure it out. But you just slide it in under the pizza, pull it out, slide it off, it goes back up on the hook. It's great. Oh my god, that thing changed my life. That thing changed my life. Yeah, you could cook your oven fries on a metal cooling rack in a sheet tray to achieve the same effect. Yes, you could, but only if you have a convection oven. Only if you have a convection oven, I feel like. How hard is it to clean? I mean, it's super easy. Everything just rinses. It's not like it's not like it's got oil in there that's splattering out. Although some people will I've seen people spritz oil onto things and cook it in there, to try to even get more. But there's just a little tray you pull out and you wash. Pizza peel, that's it. Yeah. I got a wooden pizza peel. It's the best. It's long. The handle's long enough you can get two hands under it. It's great. I can't do a cooking stream because I couldn't move this setup in there, and I don't have extra stuff to be able to just have in there. And there's no space for me to put stuff in there. It would be horrible. But yeah, I did actually look into like what would it cost to buy an oven that could actually flash cook a pizza properly, like a homemade pizza. Like you're just supposed to put them in and it's done a few minutes later. Like, and yeah, it's super expensive. Super expensive. It's actually cheaper to buy a pizza oven, like a standalone pizza oven, than it is for me to get it, you know, way cheaper than it is for me to just try to upgrade our oven to one. And it wasn't just for pizza. I also wanted it for cooking bread because it's also, it doesn't get hot enough to properly cook bread in either. But then I have a bread machine for that. Like, problem with a bread machine is you can't make the pretty loaves. Like it just comes out in a rectangular square, you know, longish square shape. Look, we discuss cooking on a regular basis, don't we? Well, we discuss food. I guess not always cooking the food. Speaking of root beer. That's better. That's better. I was like, something's missing. Root beer. Root beer was missing. How do we do on our 4 speed? We're at about 6,000. All right. A little over a third of the way through. A little over a third of the way through. Trying to decide if I want to spend these gems or not. I'm gonna get 450 off this one, but I think we'll be at around 3,500 by then, maybe. If we get good drops, 3,400. I need 9,000 more, and we're gonna be. I mean, right now we're focused on. Well, shoot. Today we're focused on campaign stuff. Friday, I think we'll have time to get like one campaign run in, and then Natural Timegate weekend should hit, and then we'll be doing Timegate stuff. But then Saturday, we should be back in the campaign again. Saturday, Monday, Tuesday, and then the event comes Wednesday. I think we can get it. I think we can get there. I just have to exercise some self-control, and I'm not good. I'm not good at that. Oh yeah, folks, 20 minutes left in the event. 20 minutes left in the event. If you were going to start a run, because you can finish it after the event ends. If you're going to start a run, you need to start it now. You can always finish. You can keep going on an event run after it ends. Okay. Also, if you have more than 7,500 tokens, go buy a pack of something. Go buy one of somebody's chest packs from the shop, please. Otherwise, it's going to randomly buy it for you in 20 minutes. If you have less than 7,500, like me, you can just sit, and it will be an event. It will turn into a different kind of. It'll be called event token in your inventory. All of these will become an event token, and it'll save for the next event. Do you still tier up if you complete the last adventure in a tier after the event ends? I mean, you would have completed it, yes. Like if you need one more variant and you hop in that variant and you complete it, then you would complete. Then yeah, it's yours. You got it. You keep that progress. It is permanent progress. But some people they'll do like a last minute favor run, deep favor push. Oh god, I need to start. Hold on. Ooh, I need to start my main account. Hold on, I gotta go check it. Oh well, hold on. There's a Sons of Valhalla update. Man, they are on it. They have been patching on their regular. They patch regularly that game. I gotta say, it's a small. Again, it's a small. They don't have a ton of content in the game, but they've been doing patches consistently since they launched. They're up to patch 12, all based off community feedback. Ooh, we can update our sword damage in the blacksmithing building now. That's cool. Only did some balancing. Okay. Yeah, yeah, okay. Yeah, and some bug fixes. Yeah, they've been on top of it, I gotta say. Credit where credit is due. They've been actively patching that game. Hey, Niskus. By the way, yes, hello. Yeah, I have a feeling the servers are gonna like maybe slow a bit at noon because of all the random chest purchases. I wonder if they factor that in. We're gonna find out. Hopefully, we don't even notice. Hopefully, we don't even notice. But oh yeah, I got 43,000 tokens. Whoopsie. What's my event favor? That's what I was actually wondering. Oh dang, I got to 1.1 E96 event favor. That's the highest I've ever gone in an event. I was really trying to get E100 and it just wouldn't get there. I bet if I did one more. I bet if I did one more it would. Boy. I don't want it though. I don't want it. Let me buy my chest packs over here real quick, folks. Gale. Yeah, right. Everything just goes to Gale. So on my main account, it's easy. It's just it all goes to the main person. All goes to whoever's new. Okay. Do I want to just throw it in? You know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna start a free play, and then I'm gonna turn it off, and then maybe later tonight I'll finish it. Well, we finished our trials run. Oh, I feel so. I feel conflicted. I feel conflicted. But I ain't gonna lose any sleep about it. All right. Who do I want to deep run here? Get Penelope. Penelope's formation. Absolutely. And yeah, that'll work. Let's do speed potion. Well, we do all the epic potions, and I will come back to this later tonight. Later tonight. Oh. I did fully finish the event on my main account. All I'm missing is Gale's achievement, which, hold on, let me actually track them. So hopefully I remember to do it tonight when I'm at my wall. Okay, turning that on. Now, why the hell is my computer so hot today? I don't understand. The fans are just going crazy. It doesn't even matter that I already turned everything on. I mean, that's just wow. So in raid, we're in a clan versus clan. It's clan versus clan time, and the other clan that we're competing against sent invites to two of our clan members that are high performers. That's the rudest thing I've ever seen. That's the rudest thing I've ever seen. I gotta go see what things are looking like. I mean, we're kind of catching up with them. Yeah, that's got to make them a little nervous. But yeah, our two highest performers that are outdoing everyone in their clan. They're like, hey, come over to our place. Ayushi Akira will probably get an invite too. Jerks. Absolute jerks. Now I want to beat him more than ever, but I'm looking at the point scores and I'm like, I don't think I can make that happen. I don't think I have the resources to overcome that on my own. Rude, but also not surprised. I'm surprised. That's not well, no one's talked about that if it's happened before. Pretty rude. Pretty rude. Oh yeah, no. I will continue doing what I was going to continue to doing, but I did post it in our clan chat, just in case I can light a fire under anybody who hasn't really shown up yet. Because not everybody can compete at the really throws down. And I think we have, yeah, we've got a couple people who haven't really put a lot in. That's usually when we're getting beaten like this. When I look at the totals, it's because more of their side is throwing down 6 figures than our side. And I get it. I screwed some up this run too. I should be over 200,000 at this point. Oh yeah. But I did finish every single clan boss yesterday. From easy to ultra nightmare. I had keys in everything. It just ended up that way. So I'll take all those points to the bank. Hey, Onyx. If our members accepted, then that would be the rudest thing. I didn't even think you could recruit or change in the middle of a CVC, but play another game in the guilds attempt to poach members. I guess if you're like, okay, it would be one thing to me if we were competitive on the ladder and you were trying to get like top clan. I could see it. We're nowhere near. Like, give me a break. We're not even in the top 1,000 of clans. And neither are they, I don't think. I don't know. It's just... That's rude. That's rude. Hey, C-Lub. Hello, Onyx. Did I say that already? It's a weird day. I'm out of sorts. Yeah, Robin, I love Event 2.0. I love the flexibility it gives, literally, flex slots, to pick the champions you actually want, like out of the event year, beyond just the featured ones, right? I'm really hoping, like I made a change to my raid strategy on what gear I sell. And it's been generating a lot more silver, which is exactly what I wanted. Because I've really been able to level up a lot of things, roll a lot of stuff, get things up to higher levels and thus more powerful. And so at some point, I'm really hoping that, you know, when I do a full cleanse, like I pull all the gear off all my champions and then re-gear everybody again, I'm hoping I can really see a big improvement. Just so I can slap fools like that across the face. This is why I don't play PvP games. I get all competitive, folks. Dare you. How dare you. Just unlock nerds. What? Okay. I was wondering what their best use is. Ooh. So they have two uses. One is as a tank in an Artemis formation. That's one of the uses people, you know, one of the things people use them for. Kind of meta ways to use them. When you ask me this, I'm thinking like the meta, like high meta. The other is in a what's called Willy Wonka, which is you combine nerds with will from the absolute adversaries. And you build the rest of your formation around making nerds your primary DPS and getting 4 stacks of Will's folk hero. Because nerds is really kind of the only person that can do 4 stacks of folk hero. Or at least the best champion to do 4 stacks of folk hero on. And it ends up being really destructive if you can gear them up right. So those are kind of the two things. Can Jaheira do it? Ooh, that would be way better than nerds. What gear level do I recommend of Orkira? I mean, everybody should, you know, look, your first stop is average item level 100, right? And then I think your second stop after that is 250 because with a shiny on her ult cooldown. Or basically, you want to max out her ult cooldown because her ult is destructive. Beyond that, it's I'm trying to remember. Does she mop? Off the top of my head, I don't. Hold on. No, I gotta go look. I cannot memorize all the mobs. I cannot memorize all the mobs. Hold on. So blacksmithing contracts 101. No, she doesn't. So after that, it's just kind of like, you know, whatever. Because she faces diminishing returns. But getting her ult to cap on cooldown is a big deal. I think. Yeah, we got to get to 225. I think we're going to run out of quick damage on the way there, then. If we're going to be able to click our way completely through it. But our butt is way high, so we should be fine. Hey, Dice Goblin. Hey, Ledia. Yes, Nerds is also good for making Lurking Rider happy. That is fair. But also good for eating as a candy snack. Yeah, Orkira's just has really good scaling. She doesn't mop. Kind of like Gale and Karlach. They all have really good scaling. They just don't mop. Bricks with 2 affiliations? What do you mean? How about her what? Any context to this question? Because there isn't any. Oh, for folklore. I think you have to be a... Don't you have to be a multi... You got to be a multi-something. Either multi-class... She's got... Oh, well, she does have 2 affiliations, so that's why. So she is a multi-somewhere. So then you'd have to... But then you'd have to build, what, Sorcerer and Tiefling? And I'm not sure... I don't know. I mean... Potentially anybody with a double could be used, but finding the best ones are like, yeah, I don't know. You got to find like a viable formation for it. That's the hard part. I think because Nerds has so many classes, that's what really makes them the most flexible folk hero champion. It's folk hero, right? Not folklore. Folklore is a Taylor Swift album, and which I appreciate the reference. Folk hero is the will ability. Oh no, it's back! Stupid bug. Is it going to give us the bag? Nope. Yep. I don't know what's going on, but we got a new bug, folks, where the bag doesn't drop at all. You got to toggle auto progress. And when you restart, you'll get this stuff out of the bag, but it looks like you're not getting it at first. This is not good. This is not good. Oh, and it's noon. All right. Yep. Yep. Oh, man. Yeah. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. Yep. Here's the downside to all of those chests being bought all at the same time. I don't think they thought that through. I don't think they thought that through. No. Turn of Fortune's Wheel Part 5 is what came out today, folks. This update also includes Tier 3 blessings, which, you know, we probably can't afford. The new adventures are the Witch and the Wormling and Inversion. The variants are the Lion, the Witch, and the Wormling. Kudos. And Time Inversion. I don't like the sound of inversion or time inversion. Quite honestly, I don't like the sound of either of those. Oh yeah, this is my internet. As I stream totally fine. Oh, CNE. CNE. Come on. Come on. You didn't see this coming? Oh, crap, folks. Here we go. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wormling. Assist a witch time dragon problem with some tabaxi help. A global debuff is applied that increases monster health by 1,000%, monster speed by 100%, and area requirements by 100%. But wait, there's more. This debuff stacks multiplicatively 3 times, with 1 stack being removed for each tabaxi champion in the formation. What? So, yeah. Enjoy. Have they done adventure art in the block before? I don't know, but I like that. The Witch and the Wormling like picture that they did there. Are there even 3 tabaxis? There's 2 at least. There's Birdsong and there's Rust on the Harbor, which will get you down to 1 stack, right? There might be a... someone would have to check and see if there's a glitch tabaxi. Or maybe there's one I'm forgetting. Yeah, I'm reading the new campaign and variant stuff. Okay. Inversion. Defeat the green slod. Oh my god, there's a slod. Alright. It's not a salad, folks. It's not a green salad. That's not a typo. It's the green slod. So the variant for that one... Time Inversion. Enter the town of Modrons with a dragon by your side. You may not use chaotic champions. Eonsterix joins the formation. Champions next to Eonsterix attack faster as their normal attack cooldown is 2 seconds faster, while everyone else has an attack cooldown that's 10 seconds longer. So it's an attack speed thing. Okay. Turn of Fortune's Wheel, Tier 3 blessings. Armor of Acheron. Local blessing increases health and healing received for tanking champions by 25% for each champion with a ranged base attack in the formation. That's interesting, actually, because you're boosting their health and healing. Oh, okay. Heroes of Arcadia local increase the damage of champions with total ability scores of 78 or higher by 50%. It's Pandemonium local increase the damage of all chaotic champions by 100%. And the global is the gift of Mechanus. Increase Modron XP earned by 10%. Which doesn't help anybody who's capped, but... Which doesn't really help anybody that's at Tournament of Fortunes. Well, no. Maybe eventually. I still don't have a functional game, folks. Still don't have a functional game. They just need to add another Tabaxi. I've got one. Well, Mars and I each have a slightly different form of a Tabaxi with the same name. And the name is called Dust on the Wind. I actually came up with the name. It was going to be a grave cleric gunslinger. I just thought that was super cool. It just goes from town to town, killing people that need to be killed. And then Mars loved the name and decided to take that and make their own version of a gunslinger that's in one of our Storyteller Mars Presents adventures. Yeah, that's what I'm wondering, J-Dog, is if we're finally going to get rewards for over-leveling a Modron. Then that blessing makes sense. Gamecast, I wasn't even trying to restart. I mean, I feel like mine's gonna any second now. It's been doing this for 7 minutes. Oh, and the new content, Dylan says the new content isn't even showing up for people anyway. So don't worry, you're not missing anything, folks. Oh, boy. Whoopsie. They're working on it. They're working on it. Sean set up the Turn of Fortune's Wheel post to auto post on the subreddit, I guess. Dylan didn't know that and also posted it. That's great. That's great. How many of these are there? We're not. We're not back. We're not back. Or we're not really. I don't trust it. I blame Sean. He isn't here. This is what happens when your community manager takes a vacation. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. People are already complaining about the Modron blessing. But I don't know what to tell you, folks. Not everybody that gets to turn a Fortune's Wheel has maxed out all their Modrons. Throw me. What's going on is the event just ended, and under events 2.0, I mean, we didn't have this happen as bad last time, but under events 2.0, everybody that had more than 70, like had 7,500 or more tokens, the server then buys you chests automatically. It spends all those tokens to get you down under 7,500, and then it puts the rest in your inventory. And I think it's just massively lagging the game out. But it can't be the only thing, because it did not do this last month. It wasn't like this last month. We can't finish. I don't want to hit end. But yeah, so these converted correctly. They're now event tokens. Well, I didn't look at the number, but I didn't look at the number. I should have looked at the number just to double check. All right. So these are properly event tokens. No. Don't try to restart or anything. That just makes it worse. Then it's just a lot of people trying to connect to the server at the same time. Yeah, if you crash, just leave it. Leave it. Really. Oh man, I want to know it's stable. I don't what my worst nightmare is that we close this and then it doesn't give us credit for finishing it. So I'm gonna sit here for a hot second, folks. Until I make sure we're not getting that cycling. Oh, we didn't get the bag. Other people are complaining about the bag thing too. Yep, see, that's exactly what I didn't want to have happen. Thalo, I can't see anything. I mean, I can't see anything. I got raid going in the background. I'm good. I got raid going also. Thalo, I'll see it when it comes back up. When I can see the store again. We'll get there. Is the blog also down? I don't know. I already read the blog though. Do you want me to read it again? Oh, I can't see anything from there either. Wow, yeah, the blog. So their website went down. I wonder if this is an issue with their host. You got to remember, sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's just bad timing. Sometimes it's not the game studio. Sometimes it's their hosting providers. Because I'm not seeing anything there. And what do you want to bet? What do you want to bet they have their website on the same host, on the same server as their game? like, or at least with the same host. Like if it's all Amazon Web Services and Amazon Web Services are having a problem right now. Thing. I mean, I'm not seeing them reporting any issues. Oh. I mean, we're seeing a spike in reports this morning of Amazon Web Services outages. So, with right now being the highest spike, but I don't know how reliable this site is. So, I don't know. It just could be glitching. Can I get the store up? I can, but I don't see anything. Yeah, I'd have to restart to get whatever the new thing is. Let's see. Will it give me? Here's a good check. Does it give me my Electrum? Does. Okay. Run all the blogs hosted on 46 in the corner of the streaming tavern. I mean, that would probably be safer. Hey, Meister Wilmer. Hey, Cal. Yes, Cal. Most people's games is somewhat borked. Not everybody. I've finished this adventure, but I don't want to actually click finish because I want to make sure this server saves my progress. Yes, the Great Modron March is next. Next event. I would love for it to glitch and for every boss to start dropping gold chests. That'd be great. Can I get that glitch, Sienna? Can I get that glitch? Probably not. Probably not. Okay, do I dare? Do I dare? You know what? I want to stay in this. I want to restart. Yeah, I think that's the safer bet. Stay in it. Try to restart it. That way, at least I know I'm still in it. In case it has a problem. In case it has a problem. Lots of bork, 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 bork. Wasn't that the Swedish chef? Bork, 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 bork. Bork, 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 bork. Wasn't that his voice? Or am I misremembering? Verifying it, we're stuck. Well, you can see. You can see, folks. You see where we are. Yeah. All right. Well, hey, one of us. One of. Wait. Wait. Oh boy, that does slow our progress down to. I mean, we were going to finish this, and we were going to hop into Azaka's Procession Part 1. That's where we are, folks. Uh, so I guess we're just chilling. I mean, I could close it and restart, but like that's bad. That's bad. I don't think it's going to change. I think we're stuck on this for a while, but at least there's something on the screen. So air fryers, everyone. No, so flash pizza ovens. Uh, they're pricey. They're pricey. I want one, but they're pricey. Maybe one day. I'm nowhere near where I could. Right now, there's no way. Uh, right now, there's no way I could swing a pizza oven. Um, that's fine. Oh, Aarakocra Glitch or Akira. That's neat. Yeah. And it's her lawful evil version. So the feat is a lawful evil feat for Akira. Oh my. Oh my. Yeah. 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 Here you go, folks. If you have this site formerly known as Twitter, or still currently known as Twitter, since I'm literally posting this from twitter.com. Okay, so this company, here you go. You want more on a pizza oven. This is kind of the neat ones that I like, but they're pricey. But they have multiple different versions. This one is an indoor version. That's an electric pizza oven. Indoor or outdoor, but yeah. Reaches 850 degrees Fahrenheit and 450 Celsius in just 20 minutes. Can cook a pizza in 90 seconds. Yes, please. Yes, please. Yeah. But they have, indoor and outdoor ones. They've got little wood cooking ones and wood fire ones. I think they have wood fire ones. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Hold on. And isn't this one a wood fire? I don't know. I really just care about the electric one. Once upon a time, I could have bought myself one of those, and I didn't. Now you make choices. Make choices. Yours loaded? All right, give me a second. I'll load mine back up again. Big enough for a third toaster oven. Big enough for a 13-inch pizza. Wow, a big toaster oven. I would have nowhere to put a toaster oven that big. Oh, the Dragonborn Strongheart's out too. Nice. Yes, 90 seconds to cook a pizza. That's why I was saying, like, I want one of those. Letty you forgot to spend currency. You're why the game broke. This is your fault. This is all your fault. No, just kidding. Let's try again. I knew Flash. Holy crap! I knew Flash meant fast, but that's really fast. Yeah, yeah. It takes longer to heat it up than to cook the pizza. uh, the wood fire ones. Some of the wood. I think some of the wood fire ones are less expensive, but hey, we're in, folks. We're in. Turn of Fortune's wheel. Cramped quarters. Yes, we're completing. Oh my god. Oh, hey, it's the Demogorgon. It's the old version, the one that makes them look like baboon heads. Interesting. And the Remoraz. There's the Aarakocra glitch. We'll check them out in a bit. Let's just get out of here. Maybe. Oh, dang it. Epic, shut up. I got an achievement. Alright. Don't care. Shut up. Alright. Oh, no. Don't. Oh, God. Okay. Okay. Asaka's Possession Part 1. Yeah. Let's go. Okay. Here we go. We're on our way. Send me on my way. On my way. Wait, no. Woodfire Uni for 600. That's what I was thinking. Is like some of the Woodfire Unis are cheaper, but I don't. I just want to plug it in and cook a pizza. More simple, NB. I just want to plug it in and cook a pizza. Decide who we're gonna want in this, because we're not gonna get to build a full formation, folks. So I think Penelope. We move her down here. We do this. We do this. For now. For now. Okay. We gotta go to 275. 275. That's not too far. We are officially out of potions that I'm willing to speed potions that I'm willing to spend. We are on our way. In the shop. Here we go. Aarakocra. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, the flames on the armor is so good. So good. Look at this. Counts as an Aarakocra. Changes hero alignment to lawful evil. Look at my wings. Yes. Yes. That's, yeah, that might get bought on my main account. There's the Remoraz. Classic and Sketch. I like that these come with both like this version and this version. Yeah. I get why they did these versions, but I like this version better. I like that version better. Okay. 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 I don't think we have. Oh, we do. But yeah, here's the Turn of Fortune's Wheel Blessings. E32, so you got to get E34 at least. Not counting all this, but E34 for this. I think I've got that on my main. Actually, I think I'm in the E40s. I think I'm in the E40s. That's neat. Can I buy any of these? No. Oh, nice, Cal. I don't have the. There's no way. Like, I don't have the counter space. Uh-oh. I just broke the game. Okay, no, all right, we're good. Okay. Looked over there. I thought it just didn't go. Okay, we're fine. I don't have the counter space. I don't have the counter space for a regular toaster oven, honestly. We have to take the air fryer out and put it back. Same with a Insta pot. Hey, King Salame. Lediath, I think it's smart. I know people are freaking out about it already, and it's like Why? Like, not everybody that's going to hit tier 3 in Fortune's Wheel is going to have all their Modron cores leveled up. Also, they're going to add more Modron cores. Also, maybe this means we're getting something extra for Modron cores. Maybe. So, you know, I don't know. Once again, people think the sky is falling. And it's actually not. It's actually not. Wouldn't want to make cooking a pizza take 5 times effort. Are we talking about like a wood fire oven? Look, there's a flavor that comes from wood fire cooking. That is, be really nice. So, you know, I like to reverse sear on my smoker. I like to reverse sear burgers and steaks. Oh my god. Oh my god, the flavor is so good. I haven't done that in a while. I should. Oh man, I'm gonna have to go over my smoker. I didn't use it last year. I need to smoke some meats this year. Vlog's back up. Is it? Working for me. Oh, now it finally works. Defeat the green salad. I mean, slod. So, Thalo, I mean, it looks like the electric one should work. I mean, they show it inside. You'd want to give it probably plenty of room. Not have it near anything combustible. Like, I would honestly probably put it on the stove top. Right under the vent, right? And I would cook it. I would just use it right there. I think it should be other. There's lots of things that should be in the game. The problem is they can't put it there, right? Because they already finished those. I've had this conversation, you know, many times about a lot of like patron perks. Should be early. They should be earlier. Like this needs to be changed. These are in the wrong order, but they don't. You know, they're not going to go back and change. They're not going to do a rework like that. I don't think so. Again, I think it's probably more telegraphing future stuff. And I think people should be pay more attention to that aspect than be all freaking out about, oh, what a waste. Like it's not probably. You just don't know what it's meant for yet. How do you do a reverse sear? So, what is searing? Oh, I guess let's explain that first. So usually when when people say you cook a steak properly, you heat up a grill and you put the steak on the grill, and it sears like those black lines on like a barbecue grill into it. Like you're searing the outside of the meat to try to keep all the juices inside so they don't just run out as it cooks. And then you flip it over and you sear the other side, right? You get a sear. That's part of the cooking process, is searing the outside. When you smoke a steak or a burger, you're cooking it at a lower temperature, but for a longer time, so it slowly cooks all the way through, and you're not searing it. And then at the end, in the last few minutes, what you do is you take your you open up, like on the smoker I have, you can open up this little panel that then gives direct access from the flame to your cook surface, instead of just generally heating and smoking everything. And then you can sear the outside so that at the end you still get that nice look, and also there's like a nice flavor that usually can come from that. So then they call it a reverse sear. So instead of searing at the beginning of the cooking process, you're searing at the end. What's the difference between searing and char grilling? When you're barbecuing, you're searing it. When you put it on, you get your heat up, and the second you throw it on, it starts to sear the side that's closest to the open flame. That's the searing process. And when you turn it over, you're searing the other side. You don't do that first when you're smoking it, because you're cooking it again at a lower temperature that's letting the heat like slowly heat up and push into the meat, which it's I don't know, it's just a nicer. I don't know if you've never read around like why you smoke meats. It makes them more tender. It can make like tough meats more tender. This is why it's usually like briskets or a big one. Briskets usually a really tough meat, but when you smoke it, it becomes super tender. So you're doing the cooking first and then the searing after, instead of the searing first and then the heat pushing through and cooking the rest of the burger or the steak. Oh, I wouldn't put a wood fire pizza oven inside. I was talking about the electric pizza oven. I would still put that right on top of the stove under a vent. You wouldn't put a wood fire pizza oven inside your house unless it's built into the house with a chimney. J-Dog, I know you're trying to make a joke, but there is actually stuff you can actually wrap your brisket in. But it's I'm not gonna get into it. This is the Cooking with Garwa stream. It kind of has been today, yeah. Yeah, see, but I think char grilling is kind of the same as I think when you're doing a good grill like a barbecue, I think you're searing at the outside of it anyway. I think you're doing those two things at the same time. You're just char grilling is usually just cooking on usually a charcoal grill, hence char grilling. But searing can happen in any kind of cooking situation. How do you set your oven? I don't have an oven. I don't do it in an oven. Again, I do it in a smoker. So, low and slow. I don't know. Hold on. I haven't done it in a while, so I'd have to find my I have my notes somewhere. Give me a second. Oh, and this one. Kind of got it down into a habit, and then I stopped doing it, so now I'm going to have to teach myself to do it again. Hold on, let's see if it's under this. This one? Oh, that one doesn't do it. Okay. Smoker temperature 225 Fahrenheit, so 107 Celsius. So nice and slow. Usually the prep is like, it takes a while to get to that temperature. But then you're cooking it for an hour, and this is what people are like, oh, like a burger. You can be done with a burger in a few minutes, but it's so good though. So yeah, you're cooking that burger for an hour. Because it's slowly cooking its way through, and then at the end, you sear the outside. You flash sear it. Yeah, see, now I got it. Now my mouth is watering. I want to do that soon. No Texas crutch, but don't. Hey, look, I'm all. If people want to use the Texas crutch, I think that's fine. The same way that's like, I may not want to use Artemis, but if you want to use the Idle Champions crutch, you can do that too. uh, but I think so. Here's the thing: when we're talking about the Texas crutch, we're talking about like you can wrap it in like a butcher paper. You could do it, but usually it's like a foil, uh, and it just helps you get through the stall better. This is smoking meat stuff, folks. You may not get it. And I think that just makes it more accessible to more people because smoking meat is super technical, and anything you can do to make it more accessible to people, I'm down for. And if that means you wrap it in foil, then that means you wrap it in foil. Serious European question over here. Smoked normally is followed by salmon or bacon. Your smoked is a cooking technique. Well, so is yours. I mean, you're getting smoked salmon and smoked bacon from the same cooking technique. It's just a different kind of meat. You can smoke all kinds of meats, but usually it's done when you're smoking like a man salmon. I mean, yeah, smoked salmon, you get that a lot, but that's a very delicate meat. And usually, you're smoking a very thick, or I should like a very tough meat. Um, and in that process, it's making it not only freaking amazing, but it's softening it up. Basically, you're the slow cooking process, slowly getting up to a heat all the way through, and then it gets to a point like it's the stall where it starts taking all the fat and the muscle, everything, and just breaking it down. And that's kind of when the temperature rise stalls because it's basically molecularizing, turning all of that into liquid inside your meat, and that creates a cooling process. So, and you're trying to push through that to keep cooking the meat. Um, and that process of getting it through that is what breaks all the tough stuff down and all the fat and just injects all of that into the rest of the meat, and makes it tender and delicious. But but smoked salmon and smoked bacon, these are using the same process, but you just you may never experience the rest of the joy of smoked meats where you are. Yeah, it is outdoor cooking. It is outdoor cooking. And here's the thing is for a long time smoking meats was not very accessible because it is a long slow process that's determined based off like the weight, like the weight of the meat, also like how thick it is and everything, like you're determining how long it's going to have to cook for. Like I just said, a burger is an hour. So imagine taking a brisket that's like bigger than this screen, and in the thick end could be like this thick and like this wide. Um, you're talking anywhere from 12 to 16 hours. 12 to 16 hours. I do smaller briskets so we can cut the time down and I can do it, during the day, but it's still anywhere from 6 to 10 hours. And the smokers that they have now, like instead of doing, I use one of the automated ones, which basically uses specially made wood pellets. So it's a pellet smoker, and so you fill a hopper, and there's a lot of electronics and stuff, and basically it slowly it's got like a spiral feed for the pellets into the heating portion, and it just slowly continually feeds wood in to maintain the proper temperature. so that you don't have to sit there and just constantly be feeding wood in and watching a temperature, because usually you had to have to sit there with your smoker the entire time and watch it maintain the temperature by adding wood and moving the wood around and everything. So it's become a lot easier, and these kind of pellet smokers are becoming more affordable. Again, anything that makes something far more accessible, I'm all about, and these are making smoking far more accessible for people. But yeah, like mine is a pellet smoker, and then it's got a digital display on the outside, and you can plug in meat thermometers and feed them through a special hole, and like they're specially cabled, and so you can have the thermometers in your meat and see the heat display, the temperature displays on the outside, so you know if you're at the when you get to the right temperatures. You don't have to open your smoker and release that air, release all that hot air, and potentially cause a problem. You can leave it closed the whole time. It's great. You do have to obviously open it to mop your brisket on a regular basis. Mop your briskets, folks. Mopping isn't just for idle champions. It's for briskets. For the record, smoking meat is more a religion than a cooking method. I mean, there are definitely people that treat it that way. Am I preferring Dine Hair over Nahara? I wasn't using Nahara. I was using BBEG. So no. But like, are you talking in Briv gem farming? I wouldn't use her in Briv gem farming either. But do you just mean like going fast at the start of a run? I haven't tried it. Really. I should. She's new. I just haven't used her much yet. There you go. Dilettante breaks it down for you. Low and slow, whether through smoking, braising, or other low temperature methods, is used to turn tough connective tissue into collagen. Yeah. But then it's also, I mean, you can, once you liquefy it, it can spread through, soak up, give that nice juicy meat. Smoked turkey is really good. I haven't smoked a turkey yet. I've had smoked turkey, but I haven't done that yet. I've stuck to briskets, steaks, and burgers. Pellets, how dare you? Look, I don't just, again, anything that makes things more accessible for people and still provides a good quality result, I'm down for. We were talking about names of books. I have a book right over there. Hold on, I'll go get it. I'll get it in a second. Mine doesn't have the phone app accessibility. That was the next, like, I had to get, like, I got a smaller one because it's just me and my mom. If I wanted to do full-size briskets, I would have needed the next size up, and that one came with the tech that would have sent, would have given me a phone app that would tell me the temperatures and then would just notify me when it gets to the right temperature. I actually have to go and check mine. Hey, Silver Slugs. Yeah, I haven't really used Diner yet. So, we'll see. All right, hold on. Give me a second. Let me go grab this book. Hold on, folks. It's out in the other room near the smoker, near the back door. I'll be right back. Okay, I found one of my meat books, but here's the other one. So I have Franklin Barbecue. So this is obviously Texas barbecue. I shouldn't say obvious, but pretty good, pretty good. But that one's good for breaking down theories and all that kind of stuff. And then I also have Franklin steak. So one for, cooking steaks and selecting your meats. Selecting your meats. They're both very big books. Very worth it. Very worth it. Yeah, Meat Smoking Manifesto. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing. It's like here's the way they think you should smoke meats and the way they've found it successful, and they're very, very successful at what they do. So yeah. But like we were talking about, some people treat it like a religion. Well, there you go. And, yeah, for me to host a barbecue, I would literally have had a bigger. I got the smaller smoker, so. Meat Smoking D&D campaign book. I also have that Heroes Feast book, the D&D cookbook. I just saw that out there too. I don't know why it's near the smoker though. My wife went to us on a girls trip. They got in line at Franklin Barbecue at around 5:30 a.m. with a case of beer and borrowed lunches. Yeah, look, that's what people do. They camp out early in the morning, so that because it's a lunchtime thing, like, and they run out, of food. I have not been, but yeah, Wizards of the Roast. Oh no, I kind of love it. Kind of love it. No, that's definitely a big cooker. That's not. No, that's no, 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 no. Basically, like our barbecue died, and I was like, you know what? Instead of getting a barbecue, I'm gonna get a smoker that you can use as a barbecue, and I love it. My mom can't use it at all. She just doesn't want to. She doesn't want to deal with technology. So she just wants a gas barbecue that she can just go out and push a button on and then turn it off. And that is not what I bought. So I might have to also buy one of those, just because. Most of the stuff in the D&D cookbook is not something I would eat. There were a couple. I'm picky. There were a couple recipes in it that I've wanted to try, and I just haven't yet. Problem is, I'm always streaming up until I'm going to blame all of you. I'm always streaming up until dinner time. So usually, if I'm cooking something, I'm putting something in a slow cooker before I start my stream. Or I can cook a pizza afterwards, right? Like Sundays are the only days that I can really do more prep work involved type stuff. And I had a grill in an apartment. We had a double master apartment that had a little deck, and I put my barbecue back down on that, and I never used it. I think my roommate did. I bought a barbecue when I was I was renting a room in a house with a friend of mine, and it had this great little backyard, but there was no barbecue. So I went out and I bought a barbecue, and literally a month after I bought it, the owners of the house decided they were going to sell it and that they were going to renew the lease. I was like, so I moved that barbecue around from place to place, and I don't think I ever really. I think it ended up here, and we used it for a while, and then we got rid of it. No mom streams. You know, my mom doesn't fully understand streaming. So look, I'm just glad finally got his smartphone and learned how to use it. Not really, sort of. So why do you want to make pizza in 90 seconds? Well, I mean, it would still take 20 minutes to prep, but I mean, I can make a pizza in what is it now? Like if I'm just going to make that frozen pizza, which is not what I would use that oven for. Well, so here's the thing. I was making like pizza dough, and then I would go out and I would, flatten out the pizza dough and put all the stuff in and then put it in an oven, but it would take a long time because our oven can't even really get to 500 degrees, so it takes a little longer to cook. They weren't that great. I kind of stopped more because I didn't really like the crust. The pizza was fine, but being able to like I could just make if I could just make a small version and then just throw it in that oven, cook it, and give my mom her own like vegetarian pizza, and then I make whatever I want next. Like that's great, and I can't really do that in our oven. The collection screen work on Epic? Like this? Nope. Not loading in. Slow cooker cam. Yeah, no, that would... Yeah. Lyra did finally show up on stream. It was for what? One of his big one. His big number one wasn't the one where he sang Mars' Guiding Hand. Yeah, she wanted a slice of the cake, or to at least taste the cake. It was in and out real fast. Took a spoon to it. All right. I knew she wasn't just like it wasn't like a finger. Like it was something. I couldn't really tell because it was kind of off camera. Yeah, 500. I think it was 500. Wait, can I bring that up? Hold on. Hold on. Should be able to do this. All right, hold on. Here we go.
Boom, 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 boom. Here's a man who puts Big Me to shame. Do, 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 do. His hands are magic. Idol champions his game. Do, 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 do.
Hold on. Was it? Sorry, I couldn't hear it, so I didn't know how loud it was. Hold on, I'll try this again.
Boom, 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 boom. Here's a man who puts Big B to shame. Do. His hands are magic. Idol champions his game. Do. He's got a cup of tea for wetting his whistle. Do. His advice is on point like a magic missile. Do. Hey Mars, we got questions for you. Do. Hey Mars, we need your guidance too. Do. From your guiding hand. Do. Look sharp.
There we go. Sorry, I had to. The first time I wasn't able to hear it. So the second time, it was coming through. It was loud enough that it was coming through the mic. So I had to mute the mic. So yeah, this is what happens when we're doing it live, folks. That's the best version of Mars's Guiding Hand. Dice Goblin, if it says click here to buy the new skins, but it's not in the shop, you maybe restart the client? Because this is in my shop, but I had to restart to get to it. Although someone said there was a Strongheart one, too. I don't see a Strongheart one. Maybe that's broken? I don't know. All right. Oh, music back on. Nope. I clicked the button, but I saw that it didn't go. Really? Yeah, I don't know. Did he do my song? I don't know. Oh, the Strongheart skin was last week? I guess did I just miss it? Did I miss it again? Down? Okay. Getting there. I just don't want to, like, scroll by it. Seems weird. Oh, no, I remember that. Yeah, okay. I remember that one. Never mind. I do remember that. Oh, no. Oh, no, I broke it back. There we go. All right. We're cruising along. We got to get to 275. Did a song live for me a couple years ago? I don't remember. Oh, they're just saying defeat Dragonborn Glitch, Strongheart, and Crystalwork. So we fight Dragonborn Glitch in the adventure, I guess. Dragonborn Glitch, Strongheart. They're just saying it's, but it was added to the game a little while back. Oh, is that the clip with Lyra? Yeah, probably. Yeah, because he puts the cake down. And then she runs in like a ninja. Like a ninja. He like turns his back. She's right behind. Sneaks in right behind and then right out. Yep. Like, what the hell? Where's mine? That was funny. That was funny. Look at 3,800 gems. We'll get 550 when we finish this. So we'll probably be closer to 4,500 or so by the time we finish this one. Trying to get to 12.5. We want I want to get this carefully balanced feat, this 40% carefully balanced. This is a speed feat, and so it will pay for itself. On Human, it will pay for itself. I'm not going to wait for the 50,000 one. It would pay for itself eventually too, but that's more when we're gem farming. I want this one. And I'm at the point where, you know, I'm blues and purples everywhere. Everywhere. The only thing I'm really losing by not opening gold chests right now is speed potions, which, man, I was thinking about not doing. I was thinking about not waiting. I really was, because I'm like, ooh, but speed potions, though, they're such a big deal. But our luck with speed potions was not great yesterday. Oh, we got a couple, but we needed a lot more. So, yeah. And right now we're doing campaign stuff, and when you're going to sit down and focus on campaign stuff, that's a good time. Like, when the rewards are 550, like 400, 500, it's a good time to be like, okay, I'm going to be doing a lot of these in a row. I'll save up some of them. You know what else I got when I left and went out to get the book? Second root beer. Second root beer. I also got, for the next snack break, French onion sun chips, which I've never tried. I'm going to try and remove a hornet's nest from your garage. I hope that's a euphemism. I hope that's a euphemism. Yeah, I don't even know what to tell you there. Yeah. Yeah, usually I'm trying to think of what do we do? You smoke it, but like you gotta, I don't know if you want to, you definitely want to create smoke that makes them leave the nest. And then, but then you know, and then they're going to be a little calmer, but it's hornets. They're never calm. So I don't know. I think you just burn the house down and build a new one, right? Oh no, wait, that's what we do for spiders. That's what we do for spiders. That's right. That's right. Yeah, if they're dormant at night or early in the morning, that feels like a better time to do it, but I don't know. So Omen's Ult Bug, is E290 minutes good or bad? I don't know, Lurking Rider, like, here's the thing with it, is his cooldown down to 1 second? If it is, you're doing the best you can do. If it's not, then it gets better. Isn't smoke a bees thing? I thought so too, but hey, if it works for wasps. The nest in an Amazon box and leave it on the porch. Oh. Wow. I mean, wasps are just spicy bees. I don't know. I've never eaten one to know. There's some deadly wasps out now, though, so just be careful. Oh, it's still on the normal? Yeah, so the thing about then no. The thing about it is it gets down, it has to, for it to break, the Omen bug is that the ultimate cooldown starts reducing itself. And once you get it below the 15 seconds that normally I think is how long the buff lasts, that's when it starts reapplying the buff and building the buff values and breaking the game. I don't know if the potato can do it, Lurking Rider, because a lot of, like, from what I heard, it's basically you want to have 10 champions in your formation and you want to have 10x speed, because something happens with that, with a familiar on Omen and Dungeon Master's ultimates, and something happens there that breaks the way it's calculating the times, and it glitches down to like a 1 second cooldown. Yeah, Dilettante, I like the idea of doing it from a distance with a water jet. That's nice. I don't know if it works everywhere, but sure. I don't know, Dice Goblin. You would have to test that, right? Is she both lawful evil and chaotic good? You would have to test. There's ways to test. Like, you'd have to find somebody that works based off one of those alignments and is it applying both or is it replacing? I don't know. That's a Dev Insights question. Or you can figure out how to test it yourself. But I wouldn't know off the top of my head. I would hope it would replace and not give both. Now, I feel like if he tried to use that torch like a flamethrower in his garage, he would burn it down. Which is one of the ways we did say you could deal with it, but I don't think that would go over well with his family. Taking wasps to swamp areas to keep the mosquito population down? I mean, that sounds neat. Natural predators. Like, it's a bug with Dungeon Master's ultimate? Interesting. Yeah, I mean, for me, all I had was a familiar on Omen and Dungeon Master, and without doing anything, and then I left, and then I wasn't even paying attention, and I came back, and both Omen and Omen's ultimate cooldown was 1 second, and so were multiple other people in the formations. Some were 2, some were 3, one was 4, but they had all become small without ever hitting them. It was weird. And it stayed that way as long as they were in the formation. If you pulled them out and put them back in, it went back to normal. Omen kept his buff value for some reason, but not the ultimate cooldown. A rake and a catcher's mask? I wouldn't want I don't think a catcher's mask really helps. A fencing mask? Absolutely, but not a catcher's mask. Do wasps still fly through the holes in a catcher's mask? Oh, it counts as both. Monastic Coffee says it counts as both. Dark Urge is showing 2 evil, 1 good on Dark Urge's spec choice with just Dark Urge and Orkira. And there you go. Yeah. That is a good way to test it. Oh yeah, mosquitoes will totally breed in water puddles after rains. They just need standing water. It doesn't have to be constantly standing. They just need standing water. We do a giveaway. We gotta get him a fencing mask for his next birthday. Nice. Nice. Lediath lived. Hooray. That's exactly what hornets on a computer would say. Oh no. We've got a hornet Lediath in chat now, folks. Kind of like a rat, cranium rat Avrin. It's just it looks like Lediath, but it's a mask and it's made up of a swarm of angry hornets. Oh, wow. Mhm. 3,000 wasps in a trench coat is that the Human version. Hornet streamer Lediath to go with cranium rat Avrin. Yeah. Oh no. Yeah, maybe he got bit. Maybe he's a were hornet now. Extra long or normal length, Athletes? Do you count as a lycanthrope? I don't know. Do you turn into a hornet now? Do you turn into a were hornet now? 3-minute ads. It should only be 90 seconds. Nope, you're good. It's all these are almost to me. These are the French onion sun chips. These are almost to me like the best part of an onion ring, but in a chip. No, I think I would almost rather have these than onion rings. Mm-hmm. Yeah, these are damn good. Who needs the worthless vegetables in the middle? Exactly. I mean, look, these are made out of whole grain, so it's not like they're not healthy. Swarm Lord Lediath, yes. That's your legendary skin. All right, Lediath. Go run your errands. Totally not hornets. I'm confused by the. I get there's a Fallout reference, but isn't Cazadores antlers? Isn't that the word for antlers in Spanish? Or am I misremembering? Antlers or deer? I don't remember. Oh, it's hunter? Really? Wow, I was way off. I could have sworn it is a tequila. Cazadores. That's why, but it has a deer on the bottle. So I thought that it stood for like antler. I was messed up. Okay. Never mind. I totally misunderstood that when I was living in Mexico. Oh, in Fallout, they're tarantula hawk wasp? Oh, okay. And cornamenta. Okay. That makes sense. Right. Those are good. I'm a little upset the box only came with like 5 packs of those. I'm going to devour those. Yeah, I just kind of, it's one of those words that nobody had taught me. I just inferred based off the fact that on a bottle of Cazadores it was a deer, that it was about antlers. I think it was a reference to either antlers or deer. I never asked. I never asked. Makes way more sense. Why do they name it after antlers? All right. Yeah, makes way more sense now. 49.20, and we're almost there. I mean, season spoilers. I get. Well, I don't know. Rumors, not spoilers. Rumors. Season 2 of Fallout's going to be in New Vegas. I didn't play New Vegas, so I will know nothing about it. Who gave that deer a weapon? Look, it's just self-protection. Everybody has a right to protect themselves, right? I mean, that's what people always say. That's why people say they have guns. So the deer, that means the deer can have them too, right? Right? And that's only fair. New Vegas was the best Fallout. Yeah, I only played 4. I came into that franchise real late, and when I looked at the others, I was like, "Ooh, those graphics don't really look like I want to play it." I would have at the time, I'm sure, but yes, we did just spoil that the series doesn't end in season 1 of Fallout. Sorry, guys. Is it worth it to hold gems and get Lae'zel's hurry up feat, or wait and get gold chests and invest in another speed champ? I don't know. I mean, right now I am currently pausing to get Human's feet because I'm doing things that are getting me lots of gems, like basic campaign stuff. So I feel like I can get to 12,500 quickly. But I'm not going for his 50,000 feet at this point. No way. That's way too far off for me. So it depends on how quickly you can earn gems, is what it comes down to. I think we'll be fine on this account to get me to wait for 12.5. Beyond that, I don't know. Why am I thinking that Far Side comic? Because that's exactly where that's where my mind went and why I said that. Also, there's that wasn't it a Fallout Boy video? That was funny. No, sad, funny, sad. Wasn't it Fallout Boy? Aren't they the ones that did that video? More. I don't know. Want click damage? We're killing with people. All right, part one done. And what finishing part one does is it actually unlocks and makes appear. See, now there's a one here. Makes appear the variant that gets you Zaka, because before it was up here. Procession part one, but this one wasn't even showing, and it is now. So here we go. Zaka's body takes up a slot in your formation. Great. But we got to get to area 300 this time. We get to 300 this time. And we do not have any speed potions. Guess that could. Okay. Quick damage. Now, who do we want? Probably Briv. Go with this. For now. I'm gonna have to change it up later, but this should get us through the start most of the way. We're gonna need probably a slightly different formation for the boss fight. Slightly different for the Juggernaut and for the boss. Juggernaut is the big check. And the boss fight's almost anticlimactic, it feels at times. Sorry, yeah, I was right. 4,500 gems. No gem reward for this one, unfortunately, but we get a champion instead. We get a champion instead. So, you know, that's fair, right? A gem reward, instead you get an entire champion. play the base game or did I try the DLCs too? I probably just played the base game. I don't remember. Hold on, was it in? Let me fire up Steam and see if Steam is where I was playing it. Probably was. Yes, Fallout 4. Did I have any DLC for it? I don't think so. But I'm not sure. I don't think so. No, there's Fallout 4 Far Harbor. I did not play that. I can tell by looking at it real quick. I don't know what other DLC there was. Guess there's a high-res texture pack. I don't know that I downloaded that either. Is that the new one? No, that's been around for a while. I don't know. Yeah, I don't have any of the DLC. No. But I put a decent amount of hours in. 131.6 hours. That's a decent amount for me on a single player game usually. I feel like I put some time into it. Probably not as much as a lot of others, though. Does the unaffiliated core come with automation unlocked right away? I don't know. Someone else maybe in chat can answer that. I'm not on my main account to be able to pull it up and check. So it makes it difficult for me to answer that kind of question. Calgaden said yes, it does. Most of the cores you have to level up to automation. Most of them. +800 hours on Fallout 4. Wow. And you haven't completed the main story? What? I don't know. I don't know what you do. I don't know what you do. I don't understand. That's like the people that have like 300 or 400 hours on Baldur's Gate 3, and I'm like, look, I did like all the things. What are you do? I don't understand. What have you been doing? What have you been doing? But yeah, most of the time you have to level up your core to 3. You just got to get back into the habit of like manually running for a bit once you get some of these cores. It sucks, but we've all been there. I guess, Cal, but I don't know. I guess I get bored running around and doing absolutely nothing. I gotta have a reason to be doing it. Some kind of progression that I'm working on or something. Hey, Nibbles. Is that always the icon? Or just in between events? Oh. I mean, I liked one of the things that I did enjoy about Star Wars Galaxies back in the day is you could just go do whatever you wanted, but I didn't usually just run around doing things pointlessly. Like I usually had a purpose. I guess that's the thing. Is like, what was the purpose? Like you could be off harvesting leather somewhere or hide, or you could be just working on XP for something, or farming Galactic Civil War points, or like there was always something to do. Specifically, Noobles, I just want to clarify smoking meats. Smoking meats. We were talking about smoking meats earlier. Not just smoking. I don't smoke, but I smoke meats. When I can remember to take the time. No, not an innuendo. Yeah, I never really. I didn't do the chase thing like a lot of people did. I did change up. I did try out a lot of different professions in Star Wars Galaxies, but I wasn't necessarily trying to become a Jedi at the time. Once the village came, I did that. Like, I did the village to become a Jedi, but I didn't. I didn't try to do the. Like I remember joining holocron farming groups early on, and it was just the hottest garbage because of the way the loot system worked. Um, Hottest garbage. Whoa. I mean, honest, most of the time, like it would get to a point where I was just trying to loot farm, like trying to find rare loot. That's what it's been. You'd find those spawns, like those rare spawns that would drop, that had a chance to drop amazing loot, and you just camp them. Chat with your friends while you're waiting for the reset timer to come up, and burned a lot of time that way. And again, because of like I was super nice about it. I'd be sitting on a spot and other people would roll in and I'd throw them a group invite and they'd decline. And I'd be like, okay. And then I'd just out DPS them and get the loot. And it'd be like, oh. And then they'd send me an invite and I'd say, hey. And I'd bring it and I'd go, okay, we can alternate who loots it. And they're like, okay. Like once a big ass Wookiee beats your ass in a DPS race once, you're like, oh, okay, yeah. And I mean, I was trying to be nice about it from the beginning, but you know, they wanted to be selfish. I'm here a lot. I'll share. I don't mind. I don't mind. Yeah, yeah. Button got a loot. Well, what didn't find one was given a loot. It's a whole other scenario. Oh yeah, Dilettante. I've talked about that before. As I loved their scripting, in-game scripting mechanics, um, and one of my friends would use it on lock in the village where the crate dragon would spawn and terrorize the village, and he would just stand right next to this spawn point with his script, with a half rifleman, half Jedi, uh, and just farm that crate dragon. While he would set up the script, he would log in and set up the script before he went to work, and they'd be gone all day from work. And he would come back, and he would have killed not only that dragon repeatedly and looted it, but also any bounty hunter that had come for him. Because he was standing in the middle of a village with NPCs in a place where other people would come, and so using Jedi abilities would put him on the bounty board. He'd have multiple hit attempts a day, kill them all, completely AFK. And then I'd use it. I would set it up like after when they added the skill tapes in. I think we had gone away and we'd played like Vanguard Saga of Heroes or whatever. Where we've talked about this before, where I became a boat builder and learned the true meaning of what grinding in crafting is. And then came back and everybody was like, and they had dropped skill tapes, and you had to just farm tons of NPCs in different places to loot all the components for the tapes, and then you just had to craft them all by hand, one by one. And I was like, and people were complaining about it, saying, "Oh, it's too hard. This is too much of a grind." And I went and tried it once, and I was like, "Oh, this is easy." So I would leave both of my characters sitting on NPC spawns in a random out of the way city that no one cared about. So I know we wouldn't fight. I wouldn't have to fight anyone over it, because there were so many places you could find that dropped that loot, and then just have them in a macro to kill and loot over and over and over again all day. I'd come home with full inventories of supplies, go back, dump them all, park one of my characters back over there to start collecting more, and then just craft all night. That was the first time I made 1,000,000,000 credits in Star Wars Galaxies, and it was so easy, and it was only because no one else wanted to do it. Everybody else thought it was a super grind, and I'm like, this is not hard. Why are you all whining? I don't understand. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, Star Wars Galaxies had a built-in little scripting screen. Like you could just pull it up and create scripts, and then you could run one or more scripts at the same time. So I had a very basic script that was for was Fencer. Like Fencer had an ability that when you activated it, you would basically start, like, you would dodge almost everything that tried to hit you, but it was on a timer. So I just had a basic script that basically hit that on cooldown to keep me always in that dodge state. And then I added some text, some speech text, so it would say, like 4 or 5 times it would go $2, and then on the last time it would go, "I want my $2," and I would just, it was constant running around. Whenever I would get into combat, I'd hit that, like start that script up, and then I would just start that, and it would kill people. People would just be laughing their asses off. It's a Better Off Dead reference for anybody who doesn't get it. 80s movie. One of the best 80s movies in my opinion. But yeah, you could have all kinds of scripts going. So there were commands to like target nearest, and you could rotate out or in and attack and loot and target, and you could just run it. You could just run it, and it would just basically pick up If you were standing facing an NPC spawn, it would just, if once an NPC spawned, the macro would be looping around, and then it would hit the target, shoot it, kill them, or hit them. I did melee ones, so I didn't shoot things too far off. Kill them, loot, repeat. I did have a ranged one in one area because there were 3 spawns, and I would set them in the middle, and I would start shooting them, and they'd run in. Once I aggroed them, and then they'd all die next to me, and then I'd loot them, and then they'd pop back up and repeat. Yeah, you could totally level fencing AFK. Like, once you got that dodge thing, like, you never took damage anymore. Not from like low level stuff. You didn't take damage from much of anything. I would solo crate dragons with my kind of fencing. What is it? Some fencing, some TK, and my power hammer, 2-handed hammer. Just toe to toe with it. With a macro that occasionally dropped a stim pack to heal me back up again from what little damage I did take. It was fun. It was fun, like figuring out how do you create the macros, how do you maximize them. I found that fun. Like, so I get why some people might script this. It's just for that I was still participating most of the time when I was at my keyboard, and then it was in an automation loop when I was at work or asleep. Wumba tactics all the way back then. I mean, well, it wasn't the same. I mean, it's, you know how NPCs respawn when you kill them, and MMOs, that's more of what it was. It wasn't that they were literally falling down right in place and getting back up again. They'd fall down, you loot them. If you didn't loot them, their bodies hung around for a while. But if you looted them right away, their bodies would disappear right away, and then that brought the respawn back, so faster. When I was at work for sleep, I mean, I wish. No, back then I was working in insurance, so I didn't get to. And that was when I was playing that pretty heavily when. Well, I guess I played through most of it, but early on I was on the phones. There was no sleeping on the phones. Later on, when I was in the internet department, if I wasn't sitting, I got the screwed up seat, which was in the cubicle right like 15, 20 feet from the manager's office, and she could look out her window and see me. So I didn't get to get away with all the stuff that my other team members got away with. Like the people 3 cubicles back, this was back when the PSP was out. They'd be back there playing a PSP. I couldn't do that at my desk. See, this is why I really wanted to open gold chests, because right now we could use some speed potions, but trying to be good. This is what makes it hard for me not to pop those potions. I haven't tried Starfield. I was never really pulled me. And even when I saw some like streams of it, wasn't super excited about it. I'm still sort of on the fence about the kind of open world Star Wars game that's coming out. I mean, I feel like I want it, but I'm like, I don't know that it's a day one purchase. After Skull and Bones, I'm like, ooh, Ubisoft, really? So I don't know. I'm a little worried that I'm going to be like, that's not how Star Wars works. Oh. God, I was reminded of like that's not how ships work the other day when I saw some promotion for it, and it's like one of like whatever the thing is like you're going after like treasure ships, and the way they let you, the way they let you know it's a treasure ship is they've got the treasure like stacked up on the side of the ship with chests open, and you can see the gold, and I'm like, no, that's not how that worked. What are you? Why are you doing this? They just don't care about. They just don't care. They just don't care. That's what it comes down to. They just don't care. Somebody just decided we don't care. This isn't even remotely real. This is just a. I think it's like this is just a silly video game. It doesn't matter if the art looks even remotely realistic. I mean, it matters to me. They don't care. They don't care at all. It's not too long before that comes out, right? Oh my. Not that's well. It's closer than I thought it was going to be. Let me see. Oh wow, it's not even showing up. Star Wars Outlaws. There it is. August 30th. Yeah, so it's this year. I was shocked that it's coming out this year because honestly, it was the first I'd ever heard of it. Complete. If they had talked about it before, I completely missed it. Completely missed it. Mm. So I will most likely wait. Well, who knows? Who knows? By the time we get there, August is still a ways away. Oh, after I messaged Luke yesterday about the hockey jerseys, he like replies back with, "Oh, you can actually get custom made jerseys online," like, and with a link, and I'm like, that's exactly what people were saying. Yeah, I don't know. Not that wow. That's actually really inexpensive. That makes me worry about the quality, honestly. This says 20, this is like $30. That honestly makes me worry about the quality. I don't know. I mean, I guess for $30 you could gamble, right? Try and see. Modern core needs to be purchased. I don't know. I don't know. It won't. I don't know. Like so they had said, you know, seasons were going to be the delivery systems for new Modron cores. You get one every 3 seasons or so, which meant basically one every 6 months. Seasons are no more, so I don't know. I don't know if they've rethought how they're going to deliver Modron cores. In fact, that's a good question for. Good question for Dev Insights. I will ask this week. We've reached the point where I'm no longer buying games. I'm just tucking another potion in my backlog queue. Oof. Yeah, it's kind of like at a certain point, games almost become like potions in an RPG, where you got a bunch of them in your inventory, but you haven't used them yet. I do have a number of games that I want to play through. You know, that's why this account is not going to be around forever because I want to play these other games, and my primary gameplay time is on streams. Do we even need any more Modron cores? Yes. Yes. Affiliated core is 500,000 gems. I had thought the Dexterous core was going to be 500,000 gems as well, but Dice Goblin says wild offers? I thought it was going to be. Hold on. Buy additional cores. Not here. So, I don't know. There would be no way for me to know if it's in wild offers. But yeah, I mean, just so like we got, just to put it in perspective, we got an unaffiliated core and we got a dexterous core. Both of these targeted things that were very specific that were very valuable, I think. They targeted different kind of gameplay focuses, like different groups. I like that idea. I've always said I want a patron core for each patron. I want like a super expensive in the patron shop at the bottom. Like I want a core that's just stacked around, you know, you slot it when you're doing Mert patron stuff. Because that's what it's going to boost. Is it's almost like a local patron core. I think that'd be neat. I do like the idea of. I liked the idea of the Aroas core. I didn't like how it worked. I liked the idea of an affiliated of a core for specific affiliations, but it didn't work out well. So I don't know if they'll do that again. But finding, this is why I think some of the cores need reworked. I think the strong core needs to rework to really be effectively a melee. Like if it's going to be a strong core, its stats need to be just about boosting strength based champions, and yet it boosts a lot of other stats. So I say dump those other stats and just have the rest of those nodes be strength as well. The magic core should be about magic base attack. Champions with a magic base attack. I like those. I like if they would focus in on these specific niches for these cores. I think it'd be great. Then you could have a ranged core. A speed. We have the speed core and the fast core. Like we've talked about a gold find core. I don't know that they want a gold find core. I think they feel like gold find is fine, but Fortune's Wheel says otherwise, right? So I think there's more options out there. Yeah, we're now in Nozaka's Procession Part 2. We got to get to 300. And we have no speed potions, so it's a slower journey. A tank core? Oh yeah. Maybe it wouldn't be a tank core. Maybe it would be like a constitution. I mean, you could just call it a tanking core, and it buffs based off like constitution, and it gives health values and maybe healing values. Like, so it's about like surviving. All right, Onyx, thanks for hanging out. What if you could reforge nodes like legendary items? I don't know. I don't know. I think you could break a core. I don't know. I'd like them to fix the legendary forge first, I guess, is my comment on that one. Well, the wizard core is the magic core, basically, but again, it's not really functional. Why would you need a tank core? What do you mean? I don't understand that comment. Are you trolling me? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, why would you not? Why would you not want a core that improves your ability to tank? The damage. You don't know that. Look, there are formations that have plenty of damage but fall over when they get hit. That's what a tanking core is for. If you know you have the damage but you need survivability, tanking core. That's why I would want a tanking core. I thought this was an obvious thing. That's why I thought you were trolling me. Dron's a reboot expert, a mop with high enough level. Well, a mop is a mop regardless of levels or loops. A mop is just a mop. It's not about a value. It's about how the ability works. So is it multiplicatively stacking ability with item or feat support that applies to a pre-stack multiplier? That's the question. I don't see her on my list. I don't see her on my list. Let me go look her up specifically. The reboot expert. No, it stacks additively. By definition, it's not a mop. It stacks additively. Remember, a mop is an ability that stacks multiplicatively. It's first, and has item or feats that buff the and all of its upgrades buff the pre-stack. Well, not all of its. I guess item or feats that buff the pre-stack multiplier, which usually it'll say like buffs to this ability, upgrades to this ability apply to the pre-stack. Like when it states it, that's what it's saying. So if anything says additively, it's not. It's not a mop. Automatically, no. Automagically. Now that doesn't mean it might not get to a good scaling point, right? Like we have champions that are real strong just because they scale well, like Orkira and Gale and Karlach. They don't mop. They don't have a mop ability, but they scale really well. They're strong. But like, yeah, I have a checklist in my Blacksmithing Contract 101. The checklist for a mathematically OP ability. 1. Does the ability gain stacks? 2. Are the stacks multiplied against each other? 3. Is there an item that supports this ability? 4. Does the item support buff the pre-stack value or increase the number of stacks? If all of those are yes, it's a mop. It's a mop. Next on the projector? What do you mean? Like, what are we working on after we unlock Azaka? Is that what we're talking about? I mean, after we unlock Azaka, we're gonna start doing variants to get us to Dragon Bait. You played Fallout 4 for a bit today, forgot just how bad my aim was? Oh. Nice, Crafty. I keep waiting. I'm like hoping that we just get a gold chest drop off a boss that has a speed potion in it, but not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. Oh, I remember what we are gonna be buying some gold chests because once we get Azaka, we're gonna get 3 Azaka gold chests, and we're gonna need to buy 3 more. Well, after we open those, we'll buy regular gold chests. Just to get her to full blues. Woman bugged out. Rosie's now the bud setter. Nice. Next event is, it shows right here. 6 days, 21 hours. We now have in-game timers for that. Like how it's like event. Oh, thanks. What a great tooltip. I get it. Someone new might be like, "What? Oh, okay." I get it, but it just feels very. Every 5 seconds it goes up. Wait, did your ultimate cooldown finally drop lower, or is it normal? I'm confused. I thought earlier you said you weren't getting that to work, but now it seems like it is. I'll be honest, I'm actually shocked there hasn't been a hot fix for that yet. Or a patch for it or something. Because you didn't have a full formation. Okay. Okay. Now the frame rate is around 1 or 2, but so is Omen's ult. There you go. Sacrifices must be made. Enjoy it while it lasts, because it's not going to last long. I have a feeling. I got a feeling. Well, no. Here's the thing. They would have to find. This is why it hasn't been fixed yet. They would have to figure out what's causing the reduction and fix that, because otherwise, even if because just having 1 second ultimates is a problem in and of itself. They could fix it in the short term by just making it the same way, the same fix as Havilar got, where Omen's ult can only apply a buff to his ability once, no matter how many times you hit it repeatedly. Like it would just reset the cooldown instead of stacking, which is what it's right now. It's stacking permanently, basically. There's a whole problem with that. But they've got to fix that problem, because otherwise you could just create 1 second ultimates, and that alone is problematic. Like you get a 1 second ultimate on Dark Urge, and I mean, you get below a 50, you get to 14 seconds or below on Dark Urge, and suddenly your formation never dies, right? It doesn't need to. Oh, is he in the same form? Is he in the same slot as Artemis? I was like, it doesn't need to kill Artemis. Oh, is he in the same slot? Because yeah, that'd do it. That'd do it for sure. Faux show. Go back to the ad break. I got about 118 areas to go. We're going to click our way most of the way there, though, it's like. Thing is, we're going to want to change up. We'll see. We'll see what our survivability is. We're going to definitely want to have Briv in at the end of the 200s. We're going to want to have Briv up in the front. We can keep Human in because Human will help us remove when Human's in the middle. Hits-based and armor-based enemies destroy twice as many segments when we hit them. So we're gonna want that because both the Juggernaut and the boss and the final bosses are segmented health bosses. We might want to switch to Ashara. Ashara would just toast it real quick, I feel like. That might mean respecking. Yeah, like the Juggernaut here would die twice as quickly. Ooh, Penelope's slow. Oh, that's a big deal on the Juggernaut. Oh, we might be fine. Penelope carry. Penelope carry. Probably. Now that I think about it. Just keeping him away from this. Because the Juggernaut's not a problem until they get to you. And if usually you want to kill them before they get to you. So with these insect swarms slowing the Juggernaut, we could stick to a single target DPS. The challenge then is just going to be on the final boss. Fire Breath Potion should keep the tentacles down. So we just, as long as we have a high enough bud, we should be fine. Well, the final bosses are stationary. They're made out of paper. No, they don't move. They don't move. So that's you know, it's just the Juggernaut that's the big problem. So at 290, we should be fine here. But then a Sararak, like the tentacles are around until you get rid of the Soulmonger. It just depends on, you know, do you click through the Soulmonger first, or do you try to take out a Sararak first? And you know. Like here in a second, our click damage should just... Yeah, it should just nuke these tentacles. Because the tentacles will respawn until the Soulmonger comes back. And the problem is that they'll heal the Soulmonger if they hit you. Yes, we still got like 75 segments to get through on the Soulmonger. you happen to get to this and you have Corazon, put them in their mage hand spec, let them drop a couple puddles into the Soulmonger, and then hit their ult, and the Soulmonger will just get deleted. Just instantly deleted. Yeah, I mean, if we had picked up Ayla, then Ayla with these slows would have just knocked the boss back and let it walk into the swarm over and over. But then the swarm eventually would go away. That's why like a Ayla Gromma combo with Gromma's Arctic spec applies a slow and Ayla knocks it away, and but the slow sticks and it just can't get up to the boss. That's where you end up with a boss that's like off this right side of the screen. It's because you got a slow knockback combo usually. That's a slow that'll stick with the boss, but these won't. Did that with Agar by himself? Yeah, I guess to a certain degree. I didn't think his knockback was that big, but yeah. Potentially. What are we doing on 4? Yeah, a little over a third now. A little over a third of the way full. Those speedruns really helped. Now we're just slowing down again. This is one of those areas where you want Lae'zel. Stupid pit traps. Lae'zel will just zip you right by them. What? Traps? Forget that. Just kill a couple things. Alright, we're on. And then you're just on to the next level. Yeah. Well, she's not solo at that point, Cal. I mean, to be fair. It's like giving